Your engineering team is leaking 60% of its time on work nobody wants to do. Bug triage at 3 a.m. Dependency updates nobody reads. Flaky tests that make your best engineers quit. But what if you could clone them? Not metaphorically, literally. A copy that works while they sleep, writes the PRs they dread, and never asks for a day off. Teams are doing this right now, and I'm going to show you exactly how it's set up. But first, I need to show you the weirdest one because it's probably already running somewhere in your industry and you just haven't seen it yet. Let's start with the one that changes everything. Every morning at 6 a.m. before anyone on your team wakes up, Devin opens a browser. It signs up for your app with a fresh account, goes through onboarding, exercises every critical user flow, checkout, payments, search, profile updates. If something breaks, you get a Slack message with a screen recording of exactly what failed. If everything passes, you get a green check mark and a full test report. Your team walks into stand-up already knowing the app works. Set this up once, and it runs forever. Here's one that will save your on-call engineer's sanity. Wire up a Sentry webhook to Devin. When a new production error fires, Devin doesn't just log it. It reads the stack trace, finds the root cause in your codebase, writes a fix, adds a regression test, and opens a pull request. All before your on-call engineer even checks their phone. The average time from error to fix? Under 15 minutes, no human intervention, no 3 a.m. pages. Just a PR waiting for review when you wake up. Most code review tools leave comments. Devin Review actually fixes the code. When a pull request is opened, Devin scans it for bugs, security vulnerabilities, and style violations. But here's what makes it different. Instead of writing a comment that says, quote, fix this, unquote, it pushes the fix directly to the branch. No back and forth. No stale review threads. The developer opens the PR, and by the time they check back, Devin has already cleaned up the edge cases they missed. The entire review loop closes automatically. Dependency updates are the chore every team postpones until something breaks. With a scheduled Devin session, this runs automatically every week. It checks for outdated packages, groups them by risk level, patch, minor, and major, runs your full test suite against each group, and opens separate pull requests. Green builds get auto-merged. Failing ones get flagged with exactly which tests broke and why. You go from hundreds of outdated dependencies to 0 every single week without thinking about it. Imagine walking into stand-up and already knowing exactly what's wrong. A scheduled Devin session queries your Datadog dashboards every morning. Error spikes from overnight? Flagged. Latency regressions on key endpoints? Highlighted with the exact percentile change. Failing monitors? Listed with severity ratings. It posts a clean summary to Slack, color-coded by urgency. Critical issues at the top. Your team spends stand-up discussing solutions instead of discovering problems. This one breaks people's brains. You have a massive migration. JavaScript to TypeScript, REST to GraphQL, legacy API to V2. Instead of one engineer grinding through it for weeks, you split the work into conflict-free packages and launch 8 Devin sessions in parallel. 8, all running simultaneously. Each one migrating a different module, running tests, opening PRs. What used to take a team 3 weeks finishes in a single afternoon. And every single change has tests and documentation. Okay, that was 7. You're probably thinking you've seen the pattern. You haven't. Everything up to this point is what happens when you point Devin at a problem. The next 7 are different. The next 7 are what happens when Devin points itself at problems you didn't know you had. This is where it stops being a tool and starts being a teammate. Stay with me. 2 automations that eliminate the work nobody wants to do. First, feature flag cleanup. After you ship a feature, you set a one-time Devin session for 7 days later. It removes the flag, deletes the dead code path, updates the tests, and opens a PR. No more zombie flags accumulating in your codebase. Second, weekly changelogs. Every Friday, Devin scans merged PRs, groups them by category, features, fixes, improvements, posts the digest to Slack and updates your changelog file. Your release notes write themselves. A customer reports a bug in your support channel. Instead of assigning an engineer to reproduce it, you tag Devin in Slack and paste the ticket. Devin opens the app in a browser, follows the customer's steps, and attempts to reproduce the issue. If it succeeds, you get a screen recording of the exact reproduction, plus a filed bug with precise steps to reproduce attached. If it can't reproduce it, you know the issue might be environment-specific. Either way, your engineers skip the most tedious part of debugging. Design system drift is death by 1,000 cuts. Hard-coded colors sneak in. Spacing tokens get ignored. Components get re-implemented instead of reused. Schedule a weekly Devin session that scans every merged PR for violations. Hard-coded hex values instead of design tokens? Flagged. Custom padding instead of spacing scale? Caught. It auto-creates tickets for anything that slipped through code review. Or better yet, kicks off follow-up sessions to fix them automatically. Your design system stays pristine without constant human vigilance. Documentation that's always current. 2 automations working together. First, auto-generating API docs from tickets. Create a playbook in Devin, sync it as a linear label, and apply it to any ticket. Devin generates documentation following your conventions and opens a PR. Second, keeping docs in sync with code. A daily session reviews the past 24 hours of merged PRs against your documentation. If an API endpoint changed, a config option was renamed, or a feature works differently now, it opens a PR to update the docs. Before users hit stale information, this is the one that makes engineering managers do a double take. You have a slow API endpoint. Instead of guessing which optimization will work, you launch 3 Devin sessions in parallel. Session 1 tries caching. Session 2 rewrites the query. Session 3 adds denormalization. Each one implements the approach, writes benchmarks, and reports the results. You compare the numbers and merge the winner. 3 engineering experiments run simultaneously with real benchmarks. Not guesswork, data, and it all happens in under an hour. The last automation catches what unit tests can't. Every time UI files change in a pull request, Devin starts the app, screenshots every affected page at multiple viewport sizes, desktop, tablet, and mobile, and compares them against the baseline. Layout breakage? Flagged with a visual diff. Overflow issues? Caught before they reach production. Missing elements? Highlighted. You can even configure it to auto-fix the issues instead of just reporting them. Visual bugs stop shipping, period. Your engineering team just got a 16th team member. Not a junior, not an intern. A tireless senior who handles the worst parts of the job so your humans can build the things that actually matter. That's not a productivity hack. That's a different kind of company. The playbook for each of these 14 automations is linked below. Set up the first one this week. Your team will notice by Monday. And if you want the breakdowns we don't post anywhere else, subscribe, because next week we're ripping apart the agent that writes it.